Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so if you're seeing this video, it means that Tapion's EZA did indeed drop for global. I covered this in an earlier video, the fact that maintenance was not going to end until the banner was out. So I'm pre-recording this video just in case, and I will have it up for you guys so that the guide is available if the event is indeed out. So AGL Tapion, it is a standard 30 stage EZA. Now the weakness is connected hopes, and as we all know on global, what with Pikkon having only been out on his debut banner, this was kind of an issue that people ran into with the GT Legendary Goku event mission, in that it's obviously very hard to make the right team if you did not pull the Pikkon. So there are going to be some other options, which of course we will go into. They make this one a little bit easier than some of the other ones because the restrictions that you get hit with when you get to stage 20 are not quite as bad as some of the other ones. So only two typings get damage reduction, which is STR and physical, and then they don't differentiate between super and extreme, because they'll do that on a lot of them where one type will just be completely unusable, but they haven't done that for this one. So obviously TEQ is going to be your main bet, but you can use AGL and INT, and this means that you can use super or extreme. So typical 30 stage EZA, obviously you're going to get all of the medals to EZA Tapion, you get a whole bunch of AGL orbs, and then you get 11 Kais. I always like the single unit EZAs because even if you don't have a spare copy or anything like that to boost up those SA levels, you still get 6 Kais left over if you just use 5 to get them to SA 15. And then of course you get 30 stones in total for the stages, and there are the missions as well, which will give you an extra 4. Fortunately, the Connected Hope related one only requires you to have one character from stage 20 or higher. So chances are, even if you can't build a proper full Connected Hopes team, you should at least have one character that you can put in order to get that mission done. So if we have a look at the Connected Hopes category, obviously Pikkon is the only leader. One of the ways that you were able to do the GT Goku event mission, if you had the right setup, was of course to use either the Spirit Bomb absorbed Goku or the Namek Goku to run a Super Saiyans team. But unfortunately, a few of those units were physical. I think STR, obviously Namek Goku is STR. None of the other STR units, I guess, are super good to use, but like Future Gohan was really good. Obviously the 3-year LR Vegito would have been very good. Oh, sorry, Gogeta. But they're going to get 80% damage reduction. And of course, if you do want to go ahead and use Namek Goku as your leader to make a full Super Saiyans team, you have to be very careful about him taking a super attack from Tapion, because obviously you're going to have type disadvantage. So that is going to be very unfortunate. So we're not going to talk as much about Connected Hopes as we would in some of the normal guides, because I know for global specifically, if you don't have Pikkon, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So I mean, if you have Pikkon, you can just make a full-on Connected Hopes team. Even if you don't have super good selection of Connected Hopes units, you can bring some very powerful TEQ super class units, and they're obviously going to get the 130% buff from his leader skill, which is still pretty solid. So any top tier very powerful TEQ units that you have, maybe you have some like full level 10 Link Rainbow TEQ units, you can bring them on this team even if they're not under Connected Hopes. But if we look at the actual category themselves, obviously the LR Oob is a very good free to play unit. He's worth bringing if you're running a full Connected Hopes team. And then unfortunately STR or physical are kind of off the table. Nail can be pretty good as long as you bring along a Piccolo. And obviously with Pikkon's leader skill, you don't have to bring a Piccolo who is on the Connected Hopes category because of that super type's leader skill. And there is the free to play TEQ one from the barbershop who has damage reduction as long as you're against an AGL enemy. So you could actually use a rotation of him and the Nail together. That would be pretty good. And then obviously for TEQ we have TN, who is the 50% TEQ support unit. He's going to be very good on his own in this event anyway, and then of course he's buffing up all of your TEQ units. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, the TEQ one is the inferior one now that they're both EZA'd, unfortunately, but he'll be pretty decent in this event, especially if you can get his 11 key super attack. And then of course there is the fact that post EZA, his leader skill is 4 key and 100% to TEQ types, so if you really are struggling for a leader, you could use this guy to run a full TEQ team. So the other option that I think would be pretty good is if you have this TEQ Gohan, obviously everyone still raves about how good TEQ Gohan is. So TEQ Gohan has the Saviors or Hybrid Saiyans leader skill. So he's a really good tech unit. He's not going to be doing tons of damage because he's not in the specialized category, but he's still able to build up his attack really well. But the key thing is, of course, his defense is still going to be really, really good in this event. And he's kind of there to lead the team, because if we look at Connected Hopes, Oob is on Saviors, and then there's quite a few decent like Hybrid Saiyans on here, like that TEQ Gotenks is on here if you want to bring him along. Int is a typing we can still use without having the disadvantage of the 80% damage reduction. So you've got like the Gotenks on here that's super, super good. Future Gohan as well. So this Gohan actually makes a pretty reasonable stand-in leader. And then even if you're not running the actual Connected Hopes, there's a ton of really good tech Hybrid Saiyans and Saviors units that you could fill out the team with in order to take down this event. Like if you have a look at the list here, if we just go down to tech, obviously we've got the Go Bros and the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. We've got the these guys unfortunately only support GT heroes, but they are super, super good on their own. Obviously this Trunks is really good when you're going up against AGL units, because he has damage reduction built in already, and you're going to have type advantage. He does get the most of his advantage when there's a Goten on rotation. So we don't have this guy yet because he's the side banner unit from the Videl banner, but his passive will be activated by the Go Bros. So you can have this guy in slot 1, post super attack is going to get even more damage reduction, and then the Go Bros in slot 2. Gohan and Icarus is always a good choice for easy A's because of that free healing ability. The Tech Trunks can be pretty decent. Bulla is a decent support unit with built-in dodge. So you can make a very strong Hybrid Saiyans team, even though a lot of them are not going to be on Connected Hopes. Of course, AGL, I mean, you could bring this Easy A Goten because of how good he is and have him on rotation with the Tech Trunks. That would be very strong as well. These guys are for all intents and purposes, they're a Hybrid Saiyan support unit because they support Goku family and Vegeta family. So if you pulled them, they're obviously going to be very good on this stage as well. And of course, AGL LR Gohan is always pretty good for events like this. The other unit I wanted to highlight was the Janemba. So he did come from the same Dual Dokkan Festival as Pikkon. I don't rate Janemba very highly, but if you did pull the Janemba and not the Pikkon, you could very easily make a good team with him, because Corroded Body and Mind has some very good tech units, and then of course he has the Extreme Class sub-leader skill, him being essentially the opposite of the way Pikkon is built. So you could put together a very good team using him as the leader, bring a ton of really strong extreme tech units, like if you pulled the most recent LR Super 17, he would be very good. If we look at Corroded Body and Mind, obviously we're looking primarily at AGL, Tech and Int. So we have strong units here like the Rose, the LR Metal Cooler Army, Baby as well. And then going down here we've got like the AGL Black Mars Saiyan from Heroes, same with Baby Janemba. We've got Mars Saiyan, who's really, really good after his Easy A. This Vegeta, who by the time you get 3 turns in, you've probably done enough damage to the enemy that you're not going to see him transform into Majin Vegeta. But he's still really good in his starting form, and it means he's not going to lose Prepared for Battle for Over in a Flash, so you could link him up with Mars Saiyan, and that would be a very strong rotation on this team. And then of course under Int we've got like Janemba, really good. If you pulled all the Mars Saiyans, like this guy on rotation with the AGL one is very powerful. So this one, there's a lot of ways to get around not having a proper full like Connected Hopes team. Obviously if you have Pikkon, this is going to be your most efficient way of getting through it as quickly as possible. But from like seeing the feedback of this one coming out on JP, because JP were in a similar boat. I'm not sure if Pikkon had actually returned at all yet when the Easy A did drop on JP. So they were in a similar kind of boat. And a lot of people reported that it wasn't that difficult to do with a full-on tech team. I mean, really, worst case scenario, if you wanted to build like an extreme tech team, you could always bring the Super Saiyan 3 Broly just for his leader skill and then have him off rotation, or have the 50% support Cell or the like Golden Frieza, any of the 120 tech leads, and then maybe bring like a Janemba friend. Obviously the upside of Easy A's is that you usually find a lot of the required friends set, so you're probably going to see a lot of Pikkon friends actually available. So if we look at his categories, he is on Saviors, so if you have the Tech Gohan, Bring TEQ Gohan as your leader, run a Saviors or Hybrid Saiyans team, and then you can still run a Pycon friend because he's on Saviors, or obviously if you can find TEQ Gohan friends. It always kind of flips for me. Like sometimes I can find these loads of these guys, and then sometimes when I specifically want to find one, I find it a lot more difficult. So there's a lot more options available for you on this one rather than just having to run Connected Hopes, because a very strong selection of tech units is definitely going to be able to get you through. So let me know what you guys think down below. What are your thoughts here? What teams are you going to build? If there's any other units or team category suggestions that you want to let us know down below, we can continue the discussion in the comments section. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. So if you did do it on JP, let us know what you used if you didn't have the Pycon, and obviously we can share more conversation and advice about team building in the comment section down below. But hopefully this one not going to be too hard, even if you don't have the full Connected Hopes team. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.